LaunchPad webinar series. I'm joined by my colleague, Armando Alas.
Good morning, everyone. Looking forward to a great webinar this Tuesday. I'm pretty sure everybody's well rested from the from two things. One is from the holiday. Two, the fact that by now most of everyone's kids are back in school, whether they're in public or university, primary, secondary, or university. They're probably back at school. So I know a lot of ICs are now focusing stronger on their business in the second half of the year.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, for sure, Armando, definitely. I'm sure everybody's well relaxed after a long weekend. It was pretty crazy over here with all the fighter jets and the planes, right? Because they had the air show 3 days in a row, so it was pretty crazy, pretty loud. But all right, so we see a couple of new ICs that have joined us today for LaunchPad webinar series. So just so you know, the format that we follow is that we'd start off with latest news and articles that we'd like to bring to your attention for this week. And then we move on to a tool of the week review section. We have a really cool tool that's lined up for this week that we'll be reviewing with you. And then we follow that up with any questions that you may have. All right, so let's dive right in. So our first news of the week is causing a lot of ruckus in the industry, and that is the whole news about Google authorship. So about 4 or 5 days back, Google basically said that authorship is dead. They're no longer showing up authorship in the search results. As you know, previously, if you look at my screen right now, you'll see that this is how typically a Google authorship image or a result would come up in your first page of Google. So you basically had your image. So if you validated your image would be showing up on the left-hand side, and then you'd have obviously your name. So in this case, it's very short. So you'd have the name over there, and then you'd also have a profile in terms of the number of people that were associated with your Google Plus. And in this case, Barry has about 79,000 people that are in his Google Plus circles. So that number would be basically showing up. And then you'd have when this particular post was released. So in this case, it was released about 6 hours ago. So that's kind of like how Google authorship benefited you in the search engine ranking pages, because it not only gave you a little bit of an edge as far as positions were concerned, but it also gave you a lot more real estate on the first page of Google, and influenced your click-through rates, which is why businesses loved it, because you were getting a lot more real estate. Compare this listing to a normal listing that's coming up in the top 10 pages of Google. Straight up plain listing as opposed to a nice image-oriented listing like this. So this was definitely influencing click-through rates, and we covered this in our previous LaunchPad webinars. So Google's now, they very steadily started moving away from authorship. The first thing in around June or so was when they killed the image. So the image was not associated with authorship anymore. Then at the same time when they killed the image, they also killed the number of Google Plus members being displayed in the image, right? So that was killed as well. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a couple of pop-ups for questions. Daniel says no sound. Can everybody confirm that they can hear me, please? Just want to make sure that the audio is coming out loud and clear.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Yep, now everybody can hear us. Okay, good. So Daniel, I think the issue is, okay, great. All right, you got it now. Excellent. All right, good stuff. So so they killed the image in June. Then after that, they killed the displaying the number of people associated with your Google Plus circles, which was done pretty much at the same time as the image. And now they've gone ahead and killed the authorship altogether. So we're getting a lot of questions coming in from the ICs. What does this mean? Do I need to change my programs? Should I even be bothering with authorship in the first place or not? So here's our official stand. Authorship probably is dead. So it's not as beneficial from a real estate perspective on your first page listing in Google. But the whole concept of authorship, which relates back to something called author rank, is still very relevant. As a matter of fact, Eric Schmidt, when he put out a book, there's a couple of years back, he put out a book, and he talked about the fact that going forward, the Internet's all about relevancy. It's all about who you are on the Internet. And that's really what matters in terms of where your listings are going to get displayed. Because the more popular that you are, the more reliable you are, the more trustworthy you are as far as a source of information, the higher up Google's going to rank your listing. Because they don't want anonymous people showing up in their listings because they're not confident about the results. So Eric Schmidt had addressed this whole topic in his book, and Google's definitely taken this whole concept And this whole term called the author rank has sort of like been coined. Now, it's not an official industry term, or Google doesn't recognize this term like PageRank. Author rank's more sort of like an industry term, but it's very, very relevant. So what this means is that even though the Google authorship, the whole display part for Google authorship has been killed, but the author rank has not. What this means is that if you're ranking, if you're an authoritative figure in the industry, if you have a strong profile in the industry, if you have strong credibility associated with yourself, Google's still going to take you very seriously. So for example, if Danny Sullivan posts something about search engines, Google's going to take it seriously and give him a higher position. If sites like QuickSprout or Kissmetrics put something up, or a guide or a how-to, because they're known for that. They do a lot of good stuff with regards to useful guides. Google's still going to rank them well, and that's based on the author rank attribute. So a lot of discussion about this in the industry right now about how Google authorship has been killed, but the author rank is not. The author rank still stays on, and companies and businesses should still be focusing on authorship, should still be using all the validators associated with authorship, and trying to boost their credibility, because the author rank is still quite valid. Right, so this was the first news of the week, doing a lot of buzz in the industry right now. You cover any blogs or any sort of social media networks, there's a lot of talk of Google authorship right now. All right, so moving on to our next news of the week. There's a really interesting study that was done by Bright Edge, and I'm going to share the link in a second, that talks about the fact that organic search is still the main driver of all the traffic on websites. Now, take this information with a grain of salt, because it also depends on the kind of industry that you're in and what drives your industry. I mean, if you're sort of like, let's say, in the celebrity buzz industry, I mean, a lot of the traffic is driven by social media, not so much by organic. But they talk about generalities, and when they're looking at overall sites and where they get their traffic from, they talk about 51% of the traffic coming in from organic search, and social only contributing about 5% of all the traffic. There's a lot more information in this study, so here's the link. It's on a website called Bright Edge, and then you go into their resource in the content optimization section, and then you can actually look at this study that they've done, and then you can just download your copy of the study, just put in your information, and then you can look at some pretty interesting data. For example, what we just highlighted. 51% of all website traffic is coming in from organic search. Rich media flattens the click distribution curve on the search results pages, and over 40% of revenue is captured by organic traffic. And that's some pretty cool graphs and data sets that you can talk about and include in your initial presentations to your prospects when you're pitching them SEO. This is a great study. It's got some really good data, especially when you want to put out some good quality content and educate your prospects in the importance of SEO. So I definitely have this page bookmarked and a copy of this report downloaded. So matter of fact, we'll download a copy of this report, and we'll also put it out on K2 for everybody's benefit. Okay, so moving on. There was a really interesting article on Search Engine Land that talks about the insights into the future of SEO. And the reason why I decided to kind of showcase this today in our webinar today is because there's one very common theme that's emerging for 2015 that the experts are talking about. So let's take a look at this article for a sec. Just pulling it up here. Okay, so here you go. So the article is titled "The Expert Insights on the Future of SEO." It's a three-part series where they're basically asking the world-renowned SEO experts a whole bunch of different questions. And the first question was, how will SEO be different in 2015? And you have your experts weighing in. So here's all the different experts that were basically interviewed, and their comments were sought. These are 16 industry experts. A lot of the names I'm pretty sure you can recognize. There's some pretty famous names in the industry. So I just want to pick up a couple of, you can't miss the Rand Fishkin mustache. So I'm going to take a couple of people here that are basically commenting on this, and then you, of course, can feel free to read the article. So you have Rand Fishkin talking about the loss of exact match keyword data in AdWords is definitely going to affect how SEOs choose keywords in employer targeting. we are already seeing that. So we have to make guesstimates as far as our keyword research is concerned based on the lack of data. He talks about web spam. Great. So Eric has something really interesting, and this is the stuff that I wanted to highlight across the board because a lot of the experts are really talking about this. The needs of mobile devices will start driving the user interface of the search engine result pages. We already see with this the removal of the author photos, reduction of the video snippets, and the changes made with Pigeon. This is all being driven by the growth of mobile searches. At SMX Advanced, Matt Cutts told us that mobile search volume in Google would exceed desktop search volume by the end of 2014, and Google's acting accordingly. This is huge, guys, because this has massive implications. And as I go down and as we start seeing some of the other experts weighing in on this, they essentially resonate the same feeling. Mobile's playing a huge, huge role when it comes to how Google's shaping up their search engine result pages. It's going to have a huge impact on every decision-making process that Google essentially does. And that's something that we, as internet marketers, have to be aware of because we have to educate our prospects and our clients to kind of start moving in that direction. So it's all about mobile, and Google's already talking about the fact that mobile search is going to be surpassing desktop search in 2014, and which is why Google's kind of shaping up their search engine accordingly and displaying the results accordingly. The other, I mean, industry observations pretty standard. I mean, Bing's going to continue to struggle; it's not going to go away. Facebook's going to continue investing in search capabilities. Let's pick up another one, which is kind of interesting. Now, Pete Myers, again, the scientist at the PhD scientist at Moz, talks about again the whole aspect of mobile. Mobile first design is going to continue to drive site design. If you want to know where Google's headed, just look at mobile. See, again, resonates the same feeling on mobile. Mark Stober has a lot of talk about content. Mark has a lot of talk about content as well. Mike King is talking about bad SEO going away, getting tougher and tougher to do, and so on and so forth. So I think I've highlighted some of the major discussion points that the experts are talking about. Will, again, drives the whole point home of mobile, talks about mobile design is driving everything. So far we're seeing this mainly in design features, moving from the mobile version to the desktop version, but I anticipate seeing actual features starting on mobile in the future, as well as a stronger bias towards prioritizing mobile experiences. Again, everybody, as I mentioned to you, is talking about mobile. So this is something that we definitely should be considering for our clients and their websites. Great read. It's something that the experts are predicting. Again, the experts are known to have been wrong in the past. I'm pretty sure that's not going to change, but what they're talking about does make a lot of sense from a data point perspective. All right, moving on. So Google's been testing a new search box. I'm not sure if any of you noticed this, but they're actually testing something which is a search within a search. So if you look at my screen right now, you'll see a normal search for Microsoft actually brings up the website. What it also does is it actually brings up a sub box. So that's like a search within a search. So the original search brings you the Microsoft listing, and then there's site links, right? So there's 6 site links that are being displayed for Microsoft, and then there's a search within a search box within Microsoft, which is searchmicrosoft.com. So you can actually have the capability to search inside of Microsoft in terms of what you're looking for, this particular website. And then on the right-hand side, you see a second screenshot. So when you actually start typing in searchmicrosoft.com in that box, it's going to start prompting you auto suggestions. So what are you looking for? You're looking for a Windows update, Windows identity update. Obviously, one can assume that a lot of people are looking for Windows updates or patches, download them directly from the Microsoft website, right? And Google's autocomplete is kind of prompting that. So this is sort of like a new interface that Google's testing out, search within a search. Something very interesting to kind of look forward to, and makes us think, because we'll have to organize our internal search engines on our websites really properly and carefully, because if Google does allow this feature and make this standard across the board, then we should have our information on our websites easily searchable. So this is something interesting to take into account and pay attention to. All right, so the other news relates to Twitter. So Twitter has an analytics tool that was up till now only available for premium users or people that were advertising on Twitter, spending ad dollars. As of last week, Twitter's opened the analytics tools to everybody. All right, so some of the things that you can actually see within Twitter are you can see how your tweets are performing in real time. So if you want to see data sets for your tweets, you can see that in real time. You can compare impressions, total engagements, total number of retweets month over month. You can look at that sort of data. You can look at tweet details page to try and see how many retweets, replies, follows, links, embedded media, etc., and all the click data associated with them. And then the best part is that you can also export these metrics into a CSV file, and then you can generate this as a report for your clients. Let's take a quick look at this. So we logged in. Here's a test account that we set up. So, if you go to tweets, it's compiling the data because we just added this in, but you can actually look at your impressions over the past 28 days for your tweets that have been put out there. Then if you click on followers, you can actually look at how many followers you have and what their interests are. So for example, for us, 84% are associated with marketing, of course, because we all mostly have a lot of the ICs following us on Twitter, 67% of SEO, 45% of web design. The top interest, of course, is marketing at 84%. And then you look at the locations as well as to what are the top locations where our followers are from. US tops the list. You also have a bit of Canada. You have UK. Top cities being Chicago, 5%, LA at 4%, Boston at 3%. So you can start seeing a sort of like good metrics as far as your followers are concerned, right? And then you can see what the gender is, 63% male and 37% female as far as a follower base is concerned. Your followers also follow, so what else do our followers follow? So you can kind of see as to what sites, what Twitter accounts they're following. Right? It's good, interesting data sets. And then the other interesting thing is you can actually go to ads right from here, and then depending on whatever campaign you're launching, you can launch, you want to add followers, you want to add website clicks, tweet engagement, app installs, leads on Twitter, or a custom campaign. You can even create a campaign right from here, right? So let's say I want to create a new campaign. I could just click on from here. Obviously, I have to put in my credit card, and then you can launch campaigns right from this interface itself. I think you can probably dedicate a whole section on what are the different kind of campaigns that you can launch on Twitter and what you can potentially do with them. So this analytics data is now accessible to everybody, so you can just log in with your Twitter account. Just go to analytics.twitter.com. That's going to be a home page, and then you can actually log in and start seeing some pretty good insights as far as your tweets or your clients' tweets are concerned. And this is great because you can now just start exporting reports and showcase this to your clients. All right. Well, hey, we also wanted to talk about the global convention in Boca, so WSI is definitely going to be there. I know some of you were very confirmed attending the convention in Boca, which is from the 25th to the 28th of September. Please do visit us. It's always good to put a face to the name. We get to work with you guys a lot, but it's always good when we actually shake hands and have a couple of drinks. Rest assured, a huge round of drinks from WSI ALM, so definitely catch us at our booth. We are advertising at Boca. We will be in the exhibitors pavilion. Plus, you'll see me and Armando just kind of walking around as well. So, yeah, it'll really be great for all the ones that are attending Boca to kind of meet up with you. And, of course, for the first 100 ICs that actually come and visit our booth, we got a little surprise. We're giving away bottles of wine. So make sure that's more incentive to stop by our booth and come and say hello to us. Armando, you want to add something in there?
Yeah, great. No, we look forward to speaking with ICs. I know that some of you have requested to have a one-on-one meeting with us in regards to not just a meet and greet, but also discuss opportunities to work together in partnership and how we can better assist you as a supplier. So definitely look forward to, as a matter of fact, I already started scheduling meetings with some ICs. So if you are interested, do feel free to touch base with myself, Armando at WSI.LM, or .com, or at our next conversation. Just let me know, and definitely want to take that one-on-one time to see how we can work with you, how we can better work with you in 2014 and 15, and also new ICs out there as well. We're looking forward to meeting you and also assisting you. There's a new exciting program that's pretty much going to be launched in the next few weeks, and definitely it's going to be part of the ALM Global Convention release, and we definitely look forward to sharing that information as well. It's going to be a preferred IC partnership program that we're going to be working with. So some exciting news. I've already briefly started talking to some of the ICs about it, and we always hear ICs sometimes wanting suppliers and production centers to be more active in helping them grow their business, and our management team has sat down and developed a strategy to do so, and to select ICs that we can work with in the long term. So a lot of exciting news coming in the next few weeks. So we'll be keeping you up to date with this new program.
So awesome, great. No, definitely excited for it, Armando. And I think this new program that Armando is just talking about, I don't want to spill the beans, but just giving you a little bit of information. It's the WSI ALM IC Partnership Program. It's called the ICPP. And one of the biggest challenges that the ICs have with the production center is that, hey, great, I'm just paying you money. Where's your skin in the game? Where is your vested interest in growing my business and making sure that I'm succeeding and I'm successful? And that's exactly what the WSIC Partnership Program does, is that it is a really unique partnership program. It puts skin in the game for the production center. Again, without giving away too much, there's almost $15,000 worth of investment that we would be doing directly in your business, to grow your franchise, if you're a part of this program, by giving you a lot of stuff and a lot of marketing related help and assistance. Again, not giving a lot of stuff, but this is really, really exciting, where we've addressed the fact that we have skin in the game, we have a vested interest in growing your business and your franchise. So do definitely get in touch with Armando at the convention, or even prior to the convention, and just start discussions with him. You can have one-on-one meetings organized there at the convention, and really to solidify this whole partnership program.
Yeah, no, definitely. In the coming weeks, we'll have a little bit more information for you in regards to the program. We're excited about it. Looking forward to setting the foundation for 2015, and definitely, like Vinish has mentioned, investing more into your business. So it's a win-win situation, because we know, our track record speaks for itself, that the ICs that we work very closely with, and that we have a longer-term relationship with, and best interest, they grow and we grow. So definitely looking forward to releasing this program, and you'll have more information as we go along. But if you have any questions, feel free to touch base with me, and I definitely look forward to sharing more key points on this.
Terrific. Thanks, Armando. And then I just wanted to add in the fact that at the latest WSI Popular Choice Awards, there was 5 websites that were chosen in the SEO category. And both myself and Armando and everybody at WSILM is really, really pleased to announce that 2 out of the 5 websites were actually WSILM programs that we're running. So we're pretty excited about that. That's almost 40% of all the sites that were nominated were WSILM run programs. So that is, again, a testament for the kind of work that we're doing at WSILM, and for the ICs believing in us. So we're pretty excited to see 2 of the sites that were out of the 5 nominated sites were actually WSILM run programs in the SEO category, which is pretty exciting for us. So fingers crossed. Hopefully we win the award there for the SEO category. Okay, terrific. So moving on here, Armando, I'll hand it over to you. You have a pretty exciting local SEO case study, so go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. It's a case study that I wanted to share with you for a number of reasons. Number one, it is in the tile and stone business, and I know that ICs others come to us and ask us a little bit more about how they can target these businesses, or how they can provide them with a bit of a mini case study. And this is a perfect study of a company out in Denver, Colorado, working with Bob Monsell, one of the ICs in Denver. And that was the number one reason I wanted to showcase this website, this SEO project. The other 2 reasons was, number 2 being the fact that it is one of our smallest SEO packages. And sometimes, you may have prospects that need a little bit of hand-holding or baby steps before they move on to investing a lot in more in SEO. And they're newbies, or they're afraid, or they've been burned before, and you just want to create a very specific package for them. In this case, we have been using the local SEO package, which is part of our traditional SEO campaigns or packages that we have. Ideally, moving into an adaptive SEO strategy, I would probably look at a bronze adaptive SEO package at a more suitable one. But anyhow, we've been working with this client for well over 15 months, and even though it's a very small package, we've been getting some great results. Had some up and downs, and that's why I wanted to share this case study. The fact of the matter is that with a small budget and a lot of patience, you can definitely get results for your clients. Obviously, it wasn't just us; it was working directly with the IC and the client, so it is a three-team approach, and definitely the IC worked very well with the client to get some of the things that we wanted on the website. Some of the challenges that we faced when we began this project about 15 plus months ago. Number one, low rankings in the beginning of the campaign. They were pretty much not found for specific keywords that related to their industry and products and services that they offer. And again, being sometimes in a competitive field is very challenging to show results in the first 3 to 4 months, because your arsenal of weapons, or your tools, or you don't have a lot to go out there. You don't have a lot of ammunition to go out there and start really being competitive, right? So the challenge was that we were in our smallest SEO package, and obviously the client wanted to test the grounds, wanted to see what type of results they could be getting, and so that was one of the challenges that we faced in the beginning. Because they were in a somewhat competitive industry. Number two, on month 8, we were throwing a bit of a curveball into our formula, where the client decided they wanted to change their overall branding to Petra Slate, Tile, and Stone. Before, they used to be called sourceproducts.com, and they changed the URL. They were really adamant about doing it. Obviously, they asked us about it, and we kind of educated the IC, and the IC educated the client. The fact of the matter that there were going to be some drop in rankings, a bit of a dip. It will take some time to get back into where we were, and so there were some negative repercussions with this change. And the client accepted this. They were well informed, and that's very important. To the level of communication that you want to keep your client when they just want to make some changes to the overall branding may actually affect the SEO strategy. In this case, they want to make a very important change, which was a change of URL, primary domain name. Once this change was made, it took us about three months to recover the rankings, and as I will show some of the rankings, they're actually better now. Most of the rankings are now on page number 1. It did take some time. It did take some patience. So that's very key. Moral of the story is that SEO, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So again, we keep saying that, but you got to educate your clients to make sure that does happen. Oh, sorry, Vinish, we can just go back one more key thing I want to share on that. The solution, like I said, was a local SEO package, on-page and off-page optimization that we do in our local SEO package. One of the key things is in many sites that ICs inherit, in their home page, you may have a very beautiful design homepage, but it lacks content. And that was the issue with this website. As a matter of fact, they made some changes to their website. It was a new website they launched. And one of the key fundamental things that we wanted was at least 250 to 300 words of content in their home page. The client at first, was a little bit hesitant about it, but we actually pushed for it. We were able to do that. Another key component is, was adding a blog module to organize the content, and also start having some social media activity. So these were key things that we had definitely recommended the client along the time frame that we were working with them. And little by little, the client has been very open to the changes. So now you can go to the next slide so I can show some of the results. Please finish. Okay, perfect. So here I'm highlighting the red on the left-hand side, the overall results in organic search traffic, which combines Yahoo, Bing, MSN, and so on. And as you can see, around April 2014, that's where the campaign was at around month 9, and basically the traffic was going up, and all of a sudden, boom, it started dipping down, and the effects of the changes that were made to the URL and all some of the changes that we made internally to the website took a little bit of time to reflect even on the overall organic search traffic. So here you can see now that as of May 2014, when we really hit the bottom, and now where we are in August, it's starting to pick up pretty much almost at the same level as March 2014. So it's one of those things that allows us to see that there are results coming up again, but it is taking some time. In addition, if you look at the bottom one, it shows just strictly Google organic traffic, where we were prior to, we had climbed up this hill in getting the client results, and all of a sudden we had this a bit of a curveball and dip in traffic because of the changes that the client wanted to make in regards to the URL, the domain name. And again, it's taking some time to go up. If you can look at the end of the graph there, the line graph, that little by little it's moving up again towards the end of August. The key thing here is, I'm also showing on the right-hand side, top right-hand side, a comparison of traffic on May, from May 1st to August 31st, and previously 6 months, we pretty much almost caught up to the same amount of traffic where we were before. So we're only about 0.51% off 24 visits from where we were before in regards to results. And that's very important. It's a good measurement to have because if you're making changes to your website, you want to know how fast you can recuperate from a fall. And like I said, it's taken us about 3 or 4 months to do that. But as you can see in the results here, May 1st to August 31st and October 30 to March 31st, previous times, time frame, sorry, we're pretty much up there again. So it's a good indication that our strategy is working. Also, some of the keyword rankings, specifically from Denver at the bottom, you can see that when we started month 1, we were in 28, and all of a sudden, when the change of your URL and change to the website, we kind of regressed to 49, and now by month 15, we're at 7th spot. Same thing happened to keywords such as concrete, pavers, Denver. We were at 95 when we started. Then all of a sudden we were, deranked to 42nd. Now we're moving up to 29. So you'll see that some keywords have moved faster. Some of them are taking a little bit of time. But overall, you're noticing that we're seeing a lot of page 1 rankings for this website. Moral of the story: it's very important to keep your eye on the goal, be able to educate your client, and also get them to be a bit more patient in the results, specifically if they ask for a change on the overall strategy. Now, going back to the local SEO program, the local SEO program does not have a lot of content. As a matter of fact, it has one piece of content that is written a month for the specific client. And that is why we kind of prefer now the bronze adaptive SEO program, because it contains a minimum of 2 pieces of content. Okay, in the local SEO program, which is the one that we're employing for PetroSlate at the current moment, it's 1 PR piece. And I know that there's been a lot of different opinions in regards to the use of PR pieces and how effective they are. Do they work, or is it just that they don't work? What is the overall use of that? And obviously, we've had some feedback from other ICs that totally don't believe in it. In our case, You can see the results here in this, apart from the on-page optimization that we're doing for the website, in regards to content writing. The client doesn't write any content. We're kind of just focusing on the one piece a month, and we are generating some results in this field. So I also had asked Benish maybe to kind of talk a little bit about the reasoning behind the use of the PR piece and how effective we've seen it internally at ALM has worked with our clients. And this is a very perfect scenario where that's the only piece of content being written, distributed, as well as added to the website and optimized on a monthly basis, and still being able to generate some positive results. So Vinish, maybe you want to kind of give us a bit of feedback from your end in regards, from an SEO perspective, why it's very important that we continue to use PR pieces in reputable PR sites.
Yeah, well, for sure, Armando. Thanks for the case study. That was terrific, very enlightening. From a PR perspective, there's two benefits, the two core benefits that we've seen coming out of a PR syndication campaign. So the first benefit that comes out of a PR campaign is that you are definitely getting a certain amount of limelight. So you get this initial boost. Now, a lot of the effectiveness of the press release also depends on the subject matter. It also depends on the website itself, and that's what powers it. Okay, so the more powerful the subject matter, the more powerful the website, the better the impact of the PR. That's what we definitely noticed. To give you an example, I'm going to compare two press releases. There's one press release that we did for a very famous radio show host. He has his alternative nutritional medicine program. It's quite popular in the U.S. And we took out a press release for him. As soon as we took out a press release for him, we got almost 5 emails contacting us from different health publications that were online and print, and they basically wanted to syndicate his content that he had on his website because they liked his content. They liked what he was talking about, this whole alternate medicine, the topic on alternate medicine, and they wanted to syndicate and publish his articles not just on their website but also in a print copy in a magazine and interview him as well at the same time. All of this just happened with one press release itself, the standard PR distribution that we do. Okay? Compare this with a local client that we have that was a roofing, he's in the roofing industry, and he gave out a 20% off roofing in the summer, his roofing services in the summer. He got a little bit of traction, not a lot of traction, he got a little bit of traction. So as you can see, there's these two different examples that I've used just to give you just to showcase you as to how PR works, because at the end of the day, it also depends on the subject and it depends on what are you trying to promote out there. All right. So the power of PR definitely is there. We're seeing that in terms of this example that I just gave you, and also we see that when we initially do a PR, it does have a sort of a lifetime in terms of appearing in some syndicated channels right in the first page, giving you good coverage and giving you a bit of a traffic lift. Now that doesn't last long because search engines are all about fresh content, so it doesn't last long, but it does give you that little bit of an impact. Plus, you're also adding credibility. When you have press releases that are being showcased on your website and you have visitors coming to your website and they're looking at you and they're deciding on whether to go with you or with a competitor, if you have press releases, if you have latest news and articles that are being updated on your site constantly, it shows that you care about your business. It sends out a very clear message. So that also makes an impact on the purchase cycle of a customer that's coming onto your website. If you're doing PR for link building, that's, essentially sort of like an ancient activity. You can't build a lot of links with PR because a lot of the companies now, in any case, are putting in the no-follow tag as far as their links and their syndication is concerned. So again, PR for link building, not a very impactful activity, but PR for all these other different reasons that I mentioned, it's definitely quite worth it. All right, so moving on. Armando, did you want to add something to that?
No, that was it. Just to kind of add a little more in terms of the PR. No, that's perfect. Thanks, Manish.
Okay, excellent. Sounds good. So for this week, we have a pretty cool tool. It's called thinglink.com. And let's take a look at ThingLink. So here's the tool ThingLink, and what it does is it actually makes your images or your video a lot more interactive and a lot more fun. And if you're utilizing ThingLink, it's supposed to increase your click-through rates, increase your interaction rates, enhance your visitor appeal to a very great extent. what is it? How does it work? I mean, so let me give you an example. They actually have an example right on the website itself. So I'm going to go at the bottom. So take a look at this, right? So you have an image. So what you do is you basically take, obviously sign up for the software, which is called ThingLink. And then what you do is you basically upload your image onto ThingLink and start tagging the different items based on what you want to tag. So for example, in this first instance, it's a storefront image. So this company is trying to sell these bags. So what they can do is they can actually embed rich links for the specific bags, right? And in this case, right now it's out of stock. But if you had information about this product, then that's what's exactly going to pop up over here. What the product is, how much does it cost, where can you buy it from? All of this can be actually embedded right in the image itself. And then here's an example of the, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with this, the Augusta Masters, right, the US. So here's a nice storytelling platform. So you have the image, and then after that, if you actually click on all these different icons, you can associate a story with all of these different icons, right? You can even associate videos with these different icons, right? So you're basically, utilizing ThingLink as a storytelling. So the first way to utilize it is as a storefront. So if you have an e-commerce website, here's a perfect way to kind of enhance your appeal and use ThingLink for increasing your visitor interaction and aesthetics. Then you can use it as a storytelling platform. Then, if you want to capture your personal moments, for example, everybody remembers the famous selfie that was taken in the Oscars. Again, you can have a whole story associated with it, right? So you can click on this, you can get videos, you can get information pieces on it, right? And then it's also pretty good for student education because you can have an image, and then the image is actually telling you a story. So in this case, you have a picture of Amelia Earhart, and then you can actually see her whole story in terms of who she is, what she did, right? So this is a pretty cool way to actually increase the interaction on your website. And again, it comes with fantastic analytics. It's definitely driving engagement quite a bit. You're getting real-time analytics, how many hours, how many people actually clicked on what link, so you can see all of that. You can customize the icons that you want to use in order to enhance your images and their experience. So you can customize all of that. You can also embed your social channels in ThingLink. A lot of top brands like Discovery, CBS Interactive, Federated Media. Federated owns a whole bunch of different websites. They're one of the largest media publishers out there. The New York Times. So a lot of sites now, a lot of major publications are actually using ThingLink so as to enhance user experience and increase engagement and make, just simple, boring images a lot more exciting. So it's a pretty cool software to utilize. There is a huge discount if you're actually signing up for educational purpose. So if you're using this for education, then there's definitely a discount. So if you click on Start Now, these are all the different options that they have. So for your personal use, it's free. So if you want to just enhance your own personal blog or your website, it's free. And I would suggest that you start off with that because you can actually see how the product works. It's fantastic. Basic business is free. So you can get a basic business account for free. The premium is about $250 a month, where you get a certain number of impressions and a lot more features, right? And you can also get a starter package for $50. If you want to test out if this ThingLink Premium fits your needs, starter package, premium features for 10,000 views on your images, valid for 1 year, only for $50. And students, teachers get this at a discount for only $35 a year. So if you have any education-related clients, this is a really fantastic option for them because they can actually embed ThingLink in their tool. So this is our tool of the week. Hopefully this has been useful. A little bit about us and our contact info. Let's now jump into questions. Okay, so I'm just taking on the questions here. Give me 1 sec. Okay. Bob has a good question. Who's taking on Matt Cutts' responsibilities while he's gone? Will Google still pursue the same path? Oh, rest assured, Bob, I'm pretty sure they're going to pursue the same path of SEO destruction. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Matt Cutts has gone on vacation. There's actually two people that have become quite active in his absence, and I'm assuming that they're the people that have kind of taken over the show in his absence. You got John Mueller. John Mueller has been very active in terms of putting out a lot of posts, educating everybody on what's going on at Google and their search team. So John's taken over a lot of responsibilities, and I've also seen Amit Singhal, again a search guy, get very active as far as his postings are concerned. We showcased one of his posts in our previous webinar where he showcased his 10-year anniversary in Google and the top 10 things that he thinks are milestones for the past 10 years in Google. So John Mueller and Amit Singhal are the guys that seem to have taken over the reins, and they're being pretty active. Great. The other question was, Adrian has a question. Can you add ThingLink to a chat window? That's pretty interesting, Adrian. That's an interesting question. I got to get back to you on this because I'm pretty sure that you can definitely tag images. So I'm not sure if you need to put an image through a chat window and then tag the image. That's a good question. I would have to get back to you on that. All right. Any other questions? Great. That's about it. Excellent. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for attending our LaunchPad webinar today. Hopefully everybody has a good weekend, and it's a short week, so let's make the most of it. And we look forward to seeing you next week in our next edition of our LaunchPad webinar series. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you.